Hey, what's going on, people? It is MechlordGames here today, and we have a discussion. But before we get started with that, I would just like to let you guys know that if you would like to join my Discord chat server, the link will be down in the description below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel today for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. So for the discussion today, we're going to be breaking down a little bit of the meta, and going to be talking about cards that have people really on edge and really hating the meta right now, and it's cards that people really think need to go. And it's pretty controversial, and I'm going to talk about why they can or can't go, and what good they have and what harm they do. So the first card, Vanity's Emptiness. Vanity's, everyone knows what it does. It's very straightforward. Stop special summoning. If a card is sent from your side of the field or your deck to the graveyard, it goes to the graveyard. So it's very easy to get rid of in this day and age. But there is a deck out there, Metal Foes. They are manipulating this card to hell, okay? So they can just destroy it at their own discretion and go plus off of destroying it. And then they could just go crazy. On top of that, they're using like Metal Foes Mithrilium to just be able to bounce it back to hand, shuffle the resources back to the deck, go off, make their plays. And it's just pretty ridiculous right now with that combo, but the chances of that really happening is kind of slim. But when you get it, it's a very annoying combination, and it is probably one of the most problematic combos that people are really doing these days with the deck. But with Vanity only being at 1, it's not that difficult to get around Vanity, it's not that difficult to get over Vanity, so people are really complaining about it a lot. And the reason why is because a lot of people are playing spammy decks right now in the meta. You've got Paleozoic, Metal Foes, ABC, some people are still playing PK Fire. There's a lot of kind of spammier decks that really rely on special summoning a lot right now in the meta. And with Vanities being a card, and with Metal Foes being able to loot Vanities, it really shuts down a lot of the opposition. While most other decks can't even abuse Vanity that much, and with Metal Foes right now being that powerful, it's pretty ridiculous that, Vanity is even allowed at 1 right now with that kind of deck and the combinations they're doing with it. But still, like I said, the chances of it happening is 1 in 40, just out of being able to draw it in your initial hand and then setting up for that combo. It's pretty slim at best. But it's not impossible to see Vanity with Metal Foes because the deck is really, really fast and really super consistent. So it's not impossible. But Vanity being one of the balancing cards of the game, being able to put decks that spam a ton in their place is really kind of something that we need right now, because with the majority of decks, you have Paleozoics that have a totally awesome Frog OTK, which I've been killed by many times. You've got, especially with the Zodiacs coming out, you're going to really want those Vanities to fight against the Zodiacs, because they can just do one card Xyz and then go into another, into another, into another, and just loop combos for days. And that's not something that we want to have happen. So, can Vanity be banned? Right? If we even think about banning Vanity, Zodiacs are going to go completely nutso, and we're not going to have that many balancers against them. And on top of that, spammier decks, like Magicians are coming out with new stuff. Magicians is going to be able to spam like crazy. We're going to need Vanity in the very near future, so getting rid of Vanity right now would be a terrible idea. So the second card on the list, Max C. Now this one is going to be really short. So Max C, you just discard it, and you draw a card each time your opponent special summons. Great card against spammy decks. It's going to be great versus Zodiacs. It's going to be great versus Magicians. And right now it's still very good against Paleozoics. Max C has always been a good card, and that's why Max C has been in like everybody's side deck or everybody's main deck for years now. And that's just because Max C is that good. Max C is the one card that really allows decks to get a lot of playability and get a lot of options and keep consistency when things are looking down. A top deck Max C versus a deck that can spam a lot and 1 or 2 good set trap cards can really easily bring you back from a bad situation. And people usually don't try to summon a ton after somebody maxied, just because you don't want your opponent plussing that much, especially with nowadays in the meta. Decks can go absolutely crazy with just 1 or 2 cards. So when somebody drops Max C, most people, unless they know that they can win that turn, won't go in, because right now there's no real hand trap summons. I mean, nobody's playing things like Battle Fader, nobody's playing Gores, nobody's playing Tragodia, nobody's playing that kind of stuff. So if you have an open board and you can win, you go for it. But otherwise, when somebody drops Max C on you, you should just stop. Max C really balances the game, and honestly, it should probably come back to 3. If it does, we can get rid of Vanity. People are so hard pressed about getting rid of Vanity, but if we get rid of Vanity, let's bring Max C back to 3. Honestly, that would be a pretty good trade-off. Give us consistency and draw power. Anytime meta would be able to get a little bit better setup. I mean, they'd still be not in a very good position because they won't have the ability to stop special summoning altogether. But being able to get some consistency against those spammy decks, we could have a lot better cookie cutter anti-meta decks right now that could be coming up to play. Even a lot of older decks can really take advantage of Max C and make older decks really playable. So if we got Max C to 3, then Vanity can just be gone. So the next card, this is actually very, very toxic right now in the community. A lot of people are complaining about the difference between Norden and Bahamut Shark. Which one should be hit? Norden, obviously. But some people are like, why don't we just hit Instant Fusion? What does Instant Fusion do in the meta, aside of summon Norden, that makes Instant Fusion worth limiting or even banning? Nothing. There is not really many decks out there that are even running Instant Fusion for anything other than Norden anyway. So Instant Fusing for something else, there's not really that many good fusions out there that are level 5 or lower that we can really take advantage of in most decks in most situations. So being able to Instant Fusion into Norden and bring something back. Some decks are actually playing Instant Fusions and Elemental Hero Bubble Man just for a reason to be able to make Bahamut Shark to summon Totally Awesome. People are just using that just to get into Toad, because Toad right now is that strong. If anything, limit Toad and finally ban Norden. If people are complaining that much about these cards, limit Toad, ban Norden. That's basically all I have to say about that. There's nothing really else to discuss about it. I mean, Totally Awesome is a just really stupidly broken card, and it's so abusable right now in so many various decks. Like Necros right now is taking advantage of it. You've got Mermails that's taking advantage of it. You've got Heroes that are taking advantage of it. Wind-ups. I've seen actually quite a lot of recent wind-up decks when dueling online that wind-up decks have been doing fairly well. And wind-up decks, because of the fact they have Wind-up Shark, you can splash in other summonable water level 4s. You could just splash in Bubble Man in those decks as well and make Bahamut Shark go into Totally Awesome and just do stupid combo plays. But fully banning Toad is a bad idea. Limiting Toad to 1, I think, would be pretty feasible, and banning Norden will really help break down the tension right now of the meta and disperse a lot of the stupid plays right now that people are really complaining about too much. So that's basically my take on it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe today. Go ahead and comment down below if you have anything to say about this. I'm sure there's going to be some comments about people, their opinions, because I know that there are a lot of people out there who would share the same opinion as me or share a different opinion. So I'd like to know what you guys think. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.